How? I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I have not been dating and dating and dating. Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier.
I am the Morton Salt Girl.
Morton Salt Girl. And this here is Frank, looking a little bit upper echelon.
Preppy.
With the sweater.
People still say preppy.
Preppy?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Preppy. Hey, you're dressed real preppy.
I don't know what people call it. I know that there is an aesthetic. Some people call it like a polo aesthetic, which is really interesting. The polo fashion scene.
The polo takeover?
Yeah, like people like the vintage polo.
Oh.
And people just like the aesthetic without even if it's not polo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the style. Mm-hmm. That Polo Ralph Lauren style.
Right.
Yeah. England, I believe the preppy kids are called posh.
Oh.
Posh.
Are they? I thought posh would be more... Yeah, I guess it would, because you usually do, yeah. I was just thinking preppy, like penny loafers and...
Yeah, you throw on your boat shoes and your khakis and your polo and your sunglasses.
And if you think of the ads...
Your dad's a lawyer.
The ads of the... Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That even sounds too low rent.
Oh, your dad.
I'm talking about trust fund babies.
Yeah, like you spend your weekends at the yacht club.
Yachts, horses,
polo, the sport of polo, quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just a little old girl with an umbrella.
Yeah, you're just a little old, and I'm just a little old boy with a sweater with some holes in it.
Well, I'm the Morton Salt Girl. That's what I was referring to.
Morton Salt Girl. I wonder if she's related to the girl in the sunscreen.
Oh, right.
Like,
I
feel like
Coppertone.
I feel like the Morton Salt Girl is like sort of the black sheep of the family.
Well,
she's a little salty at times, and then the sunscreen girl is like the one who like
naughty. Yeah.
Every time she comes home, it's like, we're coming back from the beach.
I don't get that, but
because she seems more like when I think of the difference, I'm not thinking of the girls. Why I compared them is because they're just two indistinguishable young girls to me.
Logos.
But if a man had two daughters, and when they were young, it's like you will be the face of salt, and you'll be the face of sunscreen.
Yeah.
I imagine they grow up now and like they're ready to go off to college, and I think the one girl went through sort of a talking about preppy. I think the one girl went sort of more of a recluse. Probably reads a lot of books. The salt girl, and I'm imagining the lotion girl. She is in a convertible saying like, bye dad.
Yeah. The Morton Salt, the slogan is when it rains, it pours. And of course they didn't
say that seems like a pretty like, it gives me a vibe of a type of person.
Yeah. Well,
when it rains, it pours.
It was a name. It was a well-known, slogan before Morton Salt.
Yeah.
And so they picked up on it and used it. But the reason that the man liked it so much, Mr. Morton, here's not the fisherman, but
that's his brother.
Trust the Mortons, fisherman.
Maybe that's his brother.
What a popular name! Like not popular name, like what a established name. No, what a successful last name.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the time, salt will not pour if it gets wet.
Yeah.
Like when you go down the shore, they put
clumps,
I was going to say sand. They put rice in the shaker. You ever see that? Yeah.
Yes.
Like at diners and stuff like that. You want to keep it dry and free flowing.
Yes.
So whatever Morton Salt did at that time in the early 1900s or might have been late 1800s, he really wanted to get that across that our salt pours nicely.
It's not going to
even if it was going to rain, even if there's humidity in the air.
If it's humid day, our salt's still pouring. Oh, so when it rains, it still pours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the advertising people who came up with it, their name was Ayer, Ayer, which put me in mind of Beth Ayers, which is an S on the end, but it's just like the same family name.
Yeah.
And they did other successful, I want to know if you knew any of them. So we said when it rains, it pours, and that was in 1912.
So wait, so this Ayers Company, they just make slogans? They're a slogan
It's like
company?
advertising agency.
Okay.
Yeah. They were like, they showed Mr. Morton a bunch. You show him like.
Yeah. You call the Ayers family and it's like, hey, I have salt.
Yeah.
Advertise it for me.
They're like, okay, we have the salty dog.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Okay, we have a girl with an umbrella. Oh, I kind of like that one, you know. Do you know I'd walk a mile for a camel?
I'm going to assume that is talking about cigarettes.
Yeah, that was the cigarettes.
It's kind of like feeding into the addiction portion, isn't it?
Have you ever heard of a diamond is forever?
A diamonds are forever. Put your hands in the sky. If you
So
feel
that was made for De Beers.
De Beers?
The diamond company.
Frank's going to be drinking De Beers tonight, Friday night.
In 1947. Did you ever hear of reach out and touch someone?
No.
That was AT&T. You know, telephone.
Reach out.
Yeah. And I'll just give you one more. Be all you can be. 1981.
Is it a honey company?
No, the Army. The American Army.
Wow, the Ayers Company advertising for the Army.
Yeah.
Huh. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So I'm the Morton Salt girl. I looked it up to see if she had a name, but I don't think she has a name.
That's messed up.
Remember the Land O'Lakes lady? Her name was MIA. I don't know if it was the one who sings Paper Airplanes or
Maya.
Maya. I don't know.
MIA. I think that they go by the letters. I think that's MIA.
The Paper Planes girl?
Yeah.
I don't know about the Land O'Lakes lady, but Morton Salt girl didn't seem to have a name.
Black sheep of the family.
She doesn't
What's
have a
the sun lotion girl's name?
She might have a name, and the little dog's pulling her pants down. She's probably not even on. That's probably inappropriate nowadays.
I can't even think. I'm.
She's on the beach, and
the dog, the white scruffy dog.
I don't know. The dog's white, but
it's like white and black, like a border collie.
He bites her. I bet that's not their slogan anymore because it. You said a camel promotes smoking. That promoted getting a sunburn. He pulls her.
Oh, and that's the purpose of it, to see the tan line.
Yeah, it's like, because normally is she just a pink person? But if you look, well, she's supposed to be brown, I guess. But you would be like, oh, her butt's white. I mean, she got a good tan.
Huh.
I bet that's not on there anymore.
Bet not.
Oh, well.
Who cares?
Maybe it's just a lake with a tree, like Land O'Lakes. Everybody who loses their...
Yeah, it's just a beach. It's like they just erase the person. They don't like.
It might be in my mind. If they said they'll give me a bunch of money right now, if I can, I'm gonna say it's like a sun, the copper tone sun, and it's just clouds. I don't know.
Yeah,
that should be the umbrella because you're shielding yourself.
Yeah, or just a shield.
Yeah, armor all.
Arm and Hammer.
No, armor all. You know, there's a guy named Armand Hammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like nowadays, like I don't understand.
Like,
maybe you could find that for me.
You don't understand what?
In the old days,
and Hammer.
Yeah, it's arm
and hammer.
Yeah. And it's like your baking soda.
Yeah.
Okay, that's from a long time ago. Yeah. It's established. There is a man in life right now.
Nothing to do with the company?
I don't know. But his name is Armand. A-M-R-A-N-D.
I don't mind. Okay. I don't mind. Because you know why?
Why?
Every time I hear someone with a last name, I'm like, why didn't you name your kid?
Oh, right.
You know, if his last name is Dover, why did you not name your kid Benjamin? So he can be Bendover.
Okay, there's so many better ones you could have chosen.
Okay, I know, but I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I can't think off the top of my head. But
yeah,
I don't
like my sister, whose last name is Peachy, and she didn't name her daughter Georgia. It's fine.
Georgia Peachy, exactly.
So cute.
Exactly, and then so I'm not going to sit here and say, modern day, why would you name your kid Armand when your last name was Hammer? You knew they'd be Armand Hammer.
Right.
I think it's hysterical.
Okay.
I like it, and you know what? It's not even like being mean to your kid. Like, I feel like, there's a lot of normal names that you can be mean to your kid. I'm not going to name any because you might be named them. But, I don't know. Like, like names where it's like, you really thought they were going to grow up and be able to enjoy that name.
Right.
Arm and Hammer. He can go to any place. And I bet people are like, no way. Show me your ID.
Right.
He probably uses it to his advantage.
No, he's famous. Like, he's not that kind of person.
You know what? He probably got famous because in life, everyone paid more attention to him because his name was Armand Hammer.
Maybe. Look it up. We're probably like way off. Maybe his family owns the company.
Maybe
the company was named after someone named Armand Hammer and they just made the logo.
And he's like the third.
Right.
All very good possibilities.
Friday time for you to figure out everything I've mentioned so far.
Yeah, it's like usually Fridays is the time I try to edit real quick so me and Frank can go out. But
research.
No, today I'm just going to have every second stop. Okay, Google.
Yeah, research
Arm & Hammer, Google pepper or salt companies.
Yeah. Coppertone. What's the new mascot?
Yeah. But anyhow, guys, it is Friday. It's a good Friday to be alive, and we're going to have fun. And what are we talking about today? Drum roll, please. We're talking about love. Love, love, love. 4-letter word. We talk about it a lot. You know why? Because God is love. But we're not talking about it in that way. I guess we are. We'll spin it. We're talking about compatibility.
Okay.
And I chose to talk about compatibility on a Friday rather than that's one word. Talk about it one word Wednesday, because I don't really want to dwell on the word compatibility.
Okay.
Show me where compatibility shows in the Bible.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the broad idea of compatibility in a relationship sense.
Relationship. So it's not like, is this charger compatible with my phone?
No, it is not talking about that Bluetooth compatibility.
Okay.
It's talking about the Bluetooth of the heart.
Relationships.
Love. We're talking about relationships, guys, on a Friday. It's cuffing season. A lot of you guys watching are probably happy you're married. But if you're not, then you're like, I need to find someone compatible with me. How do I do that as a good spiritual person? How? I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I have not been dating and dating and dating.
Do you think everybody knows what cuffing season is at this point?
Yeah, I'm not even going to describe it. Cuffing season's when it gets cold. Cuffing season's when it gets a little colder in the air. You're not out going to the beach, running around the block. You're inside, and you're like, I just want to sit down and watch a movie. And then suddenly, all of the people that you were getting down with in the sun, not in a weird way, that you were out and socializing.
Yes,
they're not there anymore because they're all in their houses.
Right,
and you're like, well, I sure wish I had a pal to watch this movie and eat this bowl of hot cocoa with me.
Sharing bowls of hot cocoa is so relatable.
I don't know what you kids do these days, and so therefore
you want to couple up.
Therefore, you see a lot of coupling up going on in the cold months.
But not just coupling up, but like we will be together for these winter months. This is just the two people, not like couple. It would be like you and me until spring. Yeah,
you find someone that hopefully you're compatible with that you can.
So the cuffs, is it because you're cold and you're pulling your cuffs down?
No, it's because it's your ball and chain.
Handcuffed. Okay.
It's you're not the free man or woman.
But you're okay with that because there's less energy. Everything is slowing down.
Well, some people are okay with it. Some people aren't. But we're not getting into that. We're getting into what happens when you are.
Or who would you cuff with? Who are you compatible with?
Who are you compatible with? I don't know.
Who are you?
Why do we do this? We don't know anything.
All I had was the salt.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, guys, compatibility is a funny thing.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird.
You've heard the slogans, opposites attract.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a Gemini and I'm a Taurus. Mm-hmm. That must mean there's sparks flying.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? We both have a common ancestor.
No. Not usually, but maybe.
No, never. I don't know. Whatever. It's not the point. The point is
same. What do you mean? Same likes or like same sports or
same.
It's like, you went to the same school.
It's weird, right? You hear opposite attract, and you also hear we have common interests.
Like finds like, yeah.
And it's like what really makes two people compatible.
Okay, it's a complete mystery, right?
It's a complete mystery.
If an alien came down and said, explain this, what these earthlings are doing, you would say, okay, like it's cuffing season, and you go, oh, okay, so this person is attractive and this person's attractive, and everything looks pretty good, so they'll get together. No, they won't.
Yeah.
Why not? Because do they want to? Yes, they want to find someone, but it's not that one.
Mm.
Oh, why do they want to find someone? Will they die? No. Will they get arrested? No. Okay, so what are they looking for? You won't be able to tell the alien.
You won't be able to tell the alien. But also, let's work on this. We're working on this real time. We don't have an idea.
No.
But let's do it backwards, all right?
Okay.
Because I and I'm going to bring spirituality into this, I promise. I think especially in these cuffing season months, we have to practice patience, right? Because what is patience?
Power.
No. We've had our own
Power
slogan.
of patience is peace.
The power of patience is peace.
I knew power was in it.
I've always said this. I've said looking for a relationship and not knowing who you want a relationship with
Right.
is like wanting a tattoo without knowing what tattoo you want.
Right.
What does that usually end up with?
You keep searching.
No, you get a pretty bad tattoo.
Oh, well, if you just finally take whatever.
If your headspace is, I want a tattoo, and then you're like, you set up an appointment, and then game time.
Yeah.
You
weren't patient to find what you really wanted.
You didn't. You wanted the tattoo more than you wanted something permanently.
Okay.
And I think the same thing should be treated with relationships.
All right.
Where you shouldn't be actively like, I need to get in a relationship right now. Before you meet someone who makes you want to be in a relationship with them, because then you end up with someone that you're not completely compatible with.
Right.
And when you want a tattoo, you should wait till you see something that's like, I want this on my body forever.
Right.
And I want this person on my body forever. So I think you need to treat it. I think that's an important distinction right there. Because in spirituality, in the Bible, we see that. I mean, Jesus says it somewhere about like, the marriage thing. He's like, the most important thing is yourself and your own spiritual growth.
Right.
And then it's also great to share that with somebody else. But if you're always focusing on somebody else before you are working on yourself, that's a recipe for something not good to happen. And so I think, in these winter months, if you will, if something comes up, go for it. But I think working on yourself is such an important thing to do to find someone that you're compatible with.
Right.
Because I think the most compatible people are two individuals.
Yes.
All right. It's not I have a void in my life, you have a void in your life. Let's fill each other's voids.
Right.
That's two people with broken legs that put their arms around each other and start hobbling and neither of them are trying to fix their own legs.
Right.
Is that better than two people walking hand in hand on four good legs?
You're going against Swedenborg.
What?
You're going against Swedenborg.
How?
Because
Swedenborg is a Christian
Emmanuel.
theologue, and a lot of his writings are emphasized in the college I went to, which was a denomination of Christianity, the New Church or the Church of the New Jerusalem.
I saw a post today that they posted, and I looked at it and I said, because I'm not very familiar at all with the sayings.
Conjugal love.
Well, it just the part I saw said that you are born for other people.
Yes. I'm not denying that.
I am.
Wait, what do you mean?
I think you're born for yourself.
Yeah, but like the purpose of life is like if we say God is love and we're vessels of love to spread love, us by ourselves is only us. And we're meant to spread the love. But another thing that Swedenborg says, where I bring it up a lot, and this is from the teachings I got there, is that sharpening the axe that I talked about.
Okay, yeah.
Where the idea is you sharpen an axe before you go out and do work, because that's what's going to get the work done. Mm-hmm. And the metaphor is that you are the axe, and so you should be working on yourself first.
Okay.
And so, or another analogy is the cup, a cup of water, and you are a cup of water. The idea is that you want to get filled with.
I've heard of this one. You can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't pour from an empty cup. And so first you want to worry about filling your cup, and then my cup overfloweth. Right. You're able to fill other people's cups. And that's a goal, but first thing you need to worry about is filling your own cup.
Okay. So that wasn't so much I didn't have to look at it in a relationship sense. That was more of a society sense. Yeah. Okay. So don't just rush to be with somebody.
Don't rush to be with somebody.
Have patience.
Have patience.
But what is the mystery? What is the hidden compatibility element? Can you make yourself compatible with somebody or no? Like
yes, you can.
You can?
So what do you think about soulmates?
I don't believe in soulmates.
You don't believe? I believe in soulmates.
I don't believe that you would just have to be tethered to one soul.
That's a good point. All right, I don't believe in soulmates.
It's the limitless heaven that we're going to. Not that that makes it sound like you want to just run around being
Yeah. Sodom and Gomorrah.
I was going to say vagrant, but that's not what I meant. Yeah, roving around. But why would you need a soulmate?
No, you won't. I don't believe in soulmates per se.
Oh, maybe I would believe in an optimal earthly partner. Like you just click, like this chemistry, this compatibility you talk about. There has to be, because believe me, I've met people who I was very much not clicking with. So there has to be the opposite end of that spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, we are perfect.
Yeah, no, I think that's the way I would put it is, like if I found my soulmate and then they end up, I don't know, moving to Ecuador or passing away, it's like, oh, okay, am I alone forever? No, right. I think, but with that said, that there's compatibility, back to compatibility, with certain people that works. And I forget what got me to this point of what I asked for other soulmates. We were talking about something where I was going to say, oh, you're like, can you be compatible with anyone?
Oh, can you make yourself more compatible?
Can you make yourself more compatible?
Right.
I think that's why I was asking. I don't think there's just one person that's your soulmate. But I think us as humans, it's very easy for some people to make themselves compatible with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And therefore, you can end up, things can work with this person. I can be compatible.
Right.
I can be compatible. I can be compatible. I can be compatible. So I think with the people that, like, what is real compatibility then? It's like, oh, it's all fake. It's like, I can make myself compatible with anything. It's the person that you don't have to change even the slightest bit.
Right.
And don't not like, I don't gotta change. Like always, we're saying that's why we started with 2 broken legs.
Right.
Work on yourself. Always be working on yourself, but there's someone that you can be genuinely yourself with. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what true compatibility is. And so when
safety.
So when people say soulmates, I don't think it's one person, but when you get, because you might be one person who doesn't have to change at all.
Right.
And the other person, you don't even know it, but they do.
Right.
And then it's like, well, why didn't it work out? That was my soulmate. It's like, no, it wasn't. There are people in life where both people can be their genuine selves. And I think it works best when those 2 people are focused on themselves and want to join you into their life. So yeah, so that's what I think true compatibility is, those kinds of people.
Do you think there's a risk of people pleasing? Like how you said, there are people who can be compatible with many people. Are they just people pleasers who are trying to make others feel good and they're just not really noticing that it's really not a true compatibility?
Yes. And then that's what I was saying is the danger of, I don't want to say not believing in soulmate plural, like not just one person, but it's the danger of, I think, back to the tattoo analogy. Yeah. Of wanting a tattoo before you know what you want.
Right.
It's I can make this work and I should be, I'm 31 and I haven't settled down. Right. This will work.
Yeah, there is that, yeah.
So it's not just like a people pleasing, like, I really hate this guy, but I'm going to be with him. Right. It's I can make this compatible, and I, for myself, am worried that I'm not going to end up with someone. You have to be really,
you don't have to do anything, but if you get to know yourself, right? If you get to know yourself, your true likes, your true dislikes, your true comfort level, right? If you do that, you will recognize when you are being a socially friendly, loving Christian. Yeah. And when you're actually compatible long-term in good times and bad. Yes. Because you will realize, because of course, to be in society, you don't have to be compatible with everybody, but you should get along with everybody. Do you think people have types? Now, I have a quote from a good friend of mine who said, I don't have a type, but I do have a pattern. Do you think people have types? And if they do, why do they? Do you have a type?
I don't know. Yeah, I think types are one of those things that I would say no. And then if someone else looked at me, they'd say, well, yeah, you do. Okay. And so I think it's one of those things. But right. I often wonder if it is, the whole idea of like nature versus nurture, where it's like,
where did it come in?
Where did it come in? Because you see it just with, and so I'm going to say this. I think types are earthly. Yeah. And I say that because when you talk about a type, you don't normally talk about a personality.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a type, because the same reason there's nothing wrong with liking a genre.
It's preference. Yeah.
A genre of a movie.
Right.
And it's like, you can't be wrong for saying you like horror more.
Right.
But can you say, oh, maybe you were introduced to horror as a young kid, you have a nostalgia towards it?
Right.
I think the same thing with types. And back to the beauty standards, like you could see, if you look throughout the hundreds of years, is very different. You know what I mean? Like with their sizes, shapes, tans, like so many things that are, ooh, this was really big.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
Right.
Oh, you have a flat butt, you have a big butt. It's like, look at that. Within what, 20 years?
Right.
You were saying back in what, 80s?
Yeah.
It's like you would maybe if you have a fat ass.
Yeah.
Excuse my Christian language, but that was an insult.
Yeah, it was an insult.
And now it's literally that same sentence is a compliment.
People are getting surgery
in today's standard. So
I
think types are earthly, but once again, nothing wrong with it. I think so is genres of music.
I think I believe that what you're saying is speaking to me, because you just said you don't know where the type came from. You don't know why you have that preference. Yeah. You don't know. And therefore you think, so say you have a type of girls with red curly hair and freckles. And so you fall in love with a red curly haired girl with freckles because she's your type, and she gets burned. So she has no more hair and she has no more freckles. You still are deeply in love with her. You still feel this complete spiritual connection to her. Like, well, what happened? She lost her curly hair and freckles. What you thought was attracting you wasn't. It was the invisible stuff. Yes.
And that's, I think, what compatibility is. I always think that. And I'm always like, I'm a young guy in my 20s. And I always think it's like, compatibility isn't, what does this girl look like now? It's, will I be able to hold a conversation in
and you know
20
why
years?
I know what we're saying is true?
Why?
Is because when you get set up and someone says, she's your type.
Yeah.
She's exactly what you like. She's this height and she's, she whatever is in this career and you're like, I know, but it's just, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying you plural, because you could be talking about any gender or non-gender. Yeah. When someone sets you up and they think you would be great with this person, and then you're like, but yet I'm not. Well, you know where we can get rid of all the physicalities? The metaverse.
The metaverse.
That's when we're going to know.
Or can you? Then you might
Kenya.
You might be. Can you?
Oh.
Then you might be attracted to like lizards, because someone your personality compatibles with is a lizard.
Why would a lizard be on the internet?
Their avatar.
The avatar's fine. That's what I'm saying. Everyone will be falling in love with the true person.
But that's what I'm saying. What if I'm talking to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think about the ZODIAC and compatibility? Did we ever have a ZODIAC podcast?
No.
We said we were going to so long ago.
Yeah, maybe we'll save the ZODIAC compatibility. That'll be a little special next
in the
week.
100s.
We have only 2 more minutes.
Okay.
But ZODIAC's complicated.
It's a full moon, so that's why I asked.
Oh, okay. Well, because I almost wanted to bring spirituality into it. But
okay. No, we'll do ZODIAC later.
ZODIAC, yes. I believe there's a ZODIAC compatibility, but I do not think that we have it fully understood.
Okay.
And I refuse to listen to horoscopes, if that makes sense.
That's fine. Okay. And spirituality for the win.
Spirituality for the win. Love, God is love.
Yes.
So if we are to believe that, and to believe that that's the purpose, then relationships make sense, right?
Yes.
If it's like, oh, what are the point of relationships? It's like, well, what's a better way to spread love than to have someone else to share equally with? And so I think understand that's where it's coming from. So when you're feeling the need to love, compatible, lean on your faith, lean on where the source of love is. If you are so inclined to believe it,
right?
Believe it's from God, and believe you. So if you're feeling alone, rather. That's how fancy. That's how posh people say it.
Well, like French.
Rather. Before you go seeking to find it, because I think that's they say don't go searching for it, because it'll be hard to find it. So lean on your faith. That's the source of love, and if you worry about that. Worry about building yourself up in your faith. It will come. I think it's cliche, but the most important thing about compatibility is if you don't force it,
right,
it'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, guess what? That's okay too.
That is okay.
And I think that's why I emphasize
you're not half a soul.
You're not half a soul, and that's why I emphasize the love portion of it. And God is love. And
right.
We said it in yesterday's podcast where you said they say you're born alone and you die alone.
Right.
You don't. You are loved, and you'll be full of love.
Right.
With or without it. And if you choose to join that full love with someone else's full love, great. If you choose to go on your own with it, that's great too. So you know what? We tricked you 30 minutes and we still didn't tell you how to find your compatibility.
Because you can.
We gave you the old we're all winners.
Well, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. That's
why the beauty of it, ain't it?
Dating websites and stuff like this, they could work for people, but generally they don't because it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Just like everything.
If it's meant for you, it won't pass you by. Bye.
Bye. See you next time. Hope that helped. See you later. Go get cuffed up this weekend. Just make sure it's
I don't know what you're
see
doing.
ya.